Coffee time. Oh, baby, I love your way. Whoops. Welcome to the fourth shell video. We have done the message, the money, and now we're doing the manifestation. So if you saw the last shell video, you'll know that I think the math says Shell owe £94.5 million that they need to be held accountable for. They are saying we can drive carbon neutral. The reason being is because they will put the equivalent amount of carbon molecules that we emit from taking their oil from the well to our wheel and out into the sky. They will put the same amount of molecules back in the ground. The final piece of this puzzle, though, is how do you do that? And how does it work? This takes us a deep dive into the world of carbon credits. So firstly, let's explain what carbon credits are. Receipts or verified proof of carbon that has been taken out of the sky and put in the ground. Could be in the format of wood, it could be in the format of soil. We want to make sure we've got proof that the carbon is in the ground. So if somebody's claiming to give you a carbon credit, you should be able to ask the question, where is my carbon? Can I see it, please? And how do I know you haven't sold it to someone else? 3 very simple requests. And if the carbon is locked up in wood like this, that's in my house, then I can say, where's my carbon? It's here. Can I see it, please? Yes, because I'm leaning on it right now. And how do I know it's not sold to someone else? Well, I can't be sure, but they'll probably be pretty upset by now because I've got it. But if your carbon is stored in a random place in a random country, then how do you know it's really there? How do you know it's really yours? And what's the proof of that? So Shell say these natural solutions they're going to invest money in to offset and make us drive carbon neutral. If you go to Shell's website, you can see top 5 questions about carbon offsetting. What are carbon credits? They represent an avoidance or a removal of 1 ton of CO2. It says this is a robust program of third-party independent standards, verification processes and registries to help ensure quality and integrity of the offsets. It says that we can trust Shell because they will only partner with projects that are verified by these bodies. The UK market for carbon credits is small. Don't really agree with that. Therefore, to have enough to offset our UK customers' CO2 emissions, these will be supplemented by carbon credits purchased from projects Cordillera Azul National Park project in Peru, Katingan peatland restoration and conservation in Indonesia, and Green Trees reforestation project in the USA. All-Star are the ones that sold this carbon neutral service into Shell and sold them with the idea that they can help their clients to turn your CO2 emissions into new woodlands. They're a company registered in Windmill Hill, Swindon. This is all public information. It's had lots of different names. It was called Overdrive, it was called Fleet Cost Management, Vehicle Information Services, Revised Link Limited, that then in turn have a woodland project which Shell pay them something for to be able to claim that we are driving carbon neutral. I want to have a look at the Overkirk Hope project in the Scottish borders. So the Overkirk Hope project sounds very beautiful. Forestcarbon.co.uk, again, looks like a very grassroots type organisation. It says the aim of the Overkirk project is to create over 100 hectares of new native broadleaf woodland in 3 upland valleys and 1 riverside. Just to run the maths through, they say they're doing 100 hectares. A hectare is 100 metres by 100 metres. And we plant a tree every 2.5 to 3 metres to give it room to grow. You can see from the photo that they're doing something similar. Here's the statistics on their nice native spread. That all looks good to me. Decent mix of native species. There's all these additional benefits. But here's the mathematics. They're saying that 180,000 trees over 120 hectares divided by 53,000 tons. So they're saying that about 1/3 of a ton has come from each tree. But when we look at these photos, you can see that these trees are 4 years old, 5 years old. They are not mature. They are not at 1/3 of the size of their mature scale. I had a call with the Overkirk Hope project that is in the Forest Carbon website, EcoPoint, an all-star card company owned. And they basically confirmed to me that the way carbon credits works with VSC and Gold Standard is that they create projections of the carbon that they think the forest will capture over time. Side chat, something I totally forgot about and need to record whilst I remember, is I did email the government's body on climate and asked them whether they're interested in this story about Shell, and they said it's not their business. They don't get involved in critiquing marketing and business activities, even in the green space, which I was a bit disappointed and surprised about. They say it's just their job to advise government on policy. That was the only body I could think within the government that would be interested in the standards of actually how carbon is getting captured and the quality of the claims around, is it now or is it in the future? That's that. Back to the video. It's normal that systems in society will defer responsibility to the body that is responsible for bringing standards into a market. Much like we want to defer to the CCC, to the ASA, to the CMA to control the operations of the business and the messaging of business. In the same way, it's very convenient and we want to defer our responsibility to the bodies like the VCS or the Gold Standard who are controlling how we manifest this. And we defer to our accountants who give us the honest reality about how to balance our books in the middle. But if you're going to make massive claims about driving carbon neutral at a time like this, when there is nothing more important than getting this right, then a company like you, Shell, have to take absolute responsibility from the moment you say it all the way through to the moment that those molecules are captured in the ground. If the standard that you're using doesn't put the molecules in the ground at the time that you're making the claim that we are driving carbon neutral, then that is on you. This is the very, 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 very tip of the iceberg. This campaign in a company that sits at the top of the FTSE, that sits as a number of stock exchanges around the world, and we have to get it right from the beginning. I know that someone in Shell is watching this video, and I know that you know that I'm talking sense. And I am not here to play the blame game, but this is the best place for us to start turning this ship around right now in the next few months, for you, Shell, to say, this is what we know about our Drive Carbon Neutral campaign. This is how we take responsibility from the moment we open our mouth to the moment that the emissions reach back into the atmosphere. And this is why what you've collected is either right or wrong or otherwise. And if there's gaps in it, this is what we're doing to fill it. And this is how much money we are putting into these projects. And this is the proof that we have that those molecules are now in the ground and not in the air. Those that care about our world, the ecological governors, need to know, and we need our states to evolve to have this mindset as well, what you're doing to hold account for your carbon emissions, especially if you're going to have the bravery to use it in your messaging, to speak to us through that medium, through that which we care most about. And if you guys come good on this, I will applaud you. It's vital that people who run large-scale systems have that connection between them and the value that they claim to be distributing and sending around society, and the primary connection to value, which is our relationship with this ball that we live on. So there we go, there's the conundrum, there's the quandary. What are we going to do? Shell, you may have amazing answers for all of this. I really am open to that. I'd love that to be the case. And then we can put you on the stage, we can highlight you, I can make videos with you, we can go and celebrate that we have turned the ship around already, that this is the beginning of a new era. That's all we want, to start moving on the new era. Please be the ones that are doing that already. It's now, it's not later. Now is the reset. If you make the active choice to defer to the verification bodies, the standards bodies that exist already, and choose to abdicate your responsibility by giving it to somebody else, the cost to that, to you, I believe, will be immeasurable. The only way to operate in a world that's turning faster than the current systems can evolve to keep up is to take pure and absolute, transparent, honest and open responsibility for everything that you do. Now is the window, now is the opportunity. You've got 2 weeks left of this campaign being live. You've done nothing wrong yet. The information might not be in my hands, I may not have it, or when I may have my questions. If you sit down in a meeting room right now and figure out how to take responsibility for this in the next couple of weeks so that when it ends, you can come out with a transparent, itemized list of exactly where these molecules are and who you paid for them and how. That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing, amazing legacy to come out of Corona and lockdown. If you guys are interested in more of this, check out the podcast, the New Agreements podcast I did last week with Christian Shearer from Regen Network. Very good example of trying to set new standards in the space. Otherwise, take care of yourself, guys. I will see you all very soon.